Good morning. My name is Leanne Poston, and we're going to take another look at Brightspace by D2L. And this week we're going to focus on accessibility. So the first thing that we're going to do is go into a Dropbox assignment and change the due dates for one particular student. This student has a documented disability and therefore qualifies for extra time. So the first thing I'll do is go into Edit the folder. You'll notice that this folder has already been set up with a name, a category, a grade item, points, and the ability to add a rubric. This week, though, I'm interested in the restrictions section, so I'll click on restrictions. You'll see that it already has a start date and a due and end date, but this is not enough time for our current student who qualifies for extra time. So I'm going to go down and click on Add Users to Special Access. Once I do that, I can choose which user I want to add the special access for and save that in the special access section. Then I'm going to go in and edit their dates. You can see currently they have the same due date as everyone else, but I'm going to give them an additional week to complete the assignment because of their documented disability. And after I save it, you'll see that I have one start and due date for the class, but a separate start and due date for that individual student. The next part of the assignment was to change accessibility for the quizzes. So I'm going to go to a quiz that I already have set up, and I'm going to change it for one particular student. Now, quizzes in D2L can be set up for both time restrictions as well as date restrictions. And you can see that this quiz is already set up with its name, category, and quiz questions answered. So I'm going to click on restrictions, and you will see that our quiz is active and it already has a start and an end date. But like I said, if I have one particular student that I need to add additional time for or additional days for, I'll go down to the bottom here and add users to special access, just like I did with the Dropbox assignment. When you get down to the bottom, you'll choose the student that you want to add the special access for, and then their name will show up at the bottom. The next thing that you'll want to do is click on Edit for that particular student. And you can see currently they still have the same end date as the rest of the class, but I'm going to give them an additional week. And because there was a time enforcement for the class quiz, I'm going to do the same time enforcement for this particular student. But most of the time, the accommodation is time and a half. So I'm going to change them from 2 hours to 3 hours and still give them the same 5-minute grace period. After I'm done with that, I'll need to save my work here. Okay, the next thing that we were instructed to do was to take a YouTube video with closed captions and add it to our course. So I'm going to go to YouTube, and after I get there, I'm going to go ahead and find a D2L video. But I don't want just any video. I want a video that is closed captions. So I'm going to select on Filters and choose one that is closed caption. And I'll take this video here. But the first thing I want to do is make sure
that you're writing a really important email to
that
a colleague.
It does have closed captions, which it does. And now I want to add it to my course. So to do that, I'm going to have to go to Share, which is this arrow here. And I am going to embed it. So I'm going to take this and, oops, I can just go down here and copy it. And then I'm going to go back to my class, and I'm going to add this in week 4 because that's what we're currently in. So I'll go to week 4 here, and I'm going to be adding a new video. And because it's a new video, all I have to do is paste my embed code right into that space. You see I can preview it down at the bottom, make sure my closed captions work well. Put a title on it, so it's going to be an overview video, and then save it. And here we can see that our video has shown up here. All right, the next thing that we were to do was to add HTML templates. So I have already gone and downloaded those HTML templates. And there is a link on my website to get to it, but Brightspace does provide these templates under its community as a shared resource, shared files. So you can see that I have them here, and the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to extract them or decompress them or unzip them. After you do that, then you can go down and look at all of your options, and you can see that I have a number of different options here that I can take a look at. This is one folder here that has already been decompressed. So I chose the pixel art blue as my choice. Go back one more. You can see here's the whole folder, and then here's just the individual pixel art blue. I re-zipped this back up again after I chose the folder that I want, so now it's ready to bring up into my D2L. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to Course Administration, and I'm going to go to Manage Files. And the first thing I'm going to do is upload the file. So I'm going to choose that file. And you can see there's my pixel art blue file, and I can upload it. It does have to be zipped in order to be uploaded. So you can see I've already had done it, so it's now uploaded there. All right, once it gets uploaded, the next step that you have to do is unzip it. And you can see this one's already unzipped, but if it wasn't, then all you have to do is you pull this pull down menu down and choose unzip from the option and go ahead and take care of that. All right, now I can look and see what all is in that particular file. And you can see one of the choices is template styles. And I can take that and copy it. And once I copy it, I rename it, and then I can use it. After I've renamed it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that with this one. And I'm going to rename this one Quiz 3 to keep it separate from all of the others that I have done. And then I'll save it. Okay, but that doesn't mean that it's available in the course anywhere. So I'm going to go back to Content. And since this is Quiz 3, I'm going to go ahead and put it in Week 3. And I want to add a new file here. And I'm going to choose Add from Manage File. And once I do that, you can see that I should be able to find in our unzipped pixel art blue, there's our Quiz 3 file. So I'm going to select it and then add it. And then I'm going to have to edit it because it's going to be in the format that the template was in. So you can see it has all of its headings and everything, and it's just a matter of selecting them and changing it so that it fits our current assignment. All right, the last thing that we were supposed to take a look at was the web opinion or a summary of online reviews of D2L Brightspace's accessibility. And there are two guidelines to look at. One is the WCAG 2.0 Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, which are international guidelines. And then the second is the Authoring Tool Accessibility Guidelines, which are adding the content to the web page. Now, one task force, University of Missouri ACT task force, evaluated all three learning management systems, Brightspace, Canvas, and Blackboard. And they said that Brightspace emerged ahead of Canvas because they did a good job with documentation and hands-on testing. Their final recommendation was that Brightspace was more accessible than Canvas. So the thing you have to keep in mind, though, is all the learning management systems are constantly changing, as well as the standards are. So Brightspace does meet the WCAG 2.0 standards, and is described as being a very responsive company to any concerns about accessibility. In addition, Brightspace by D2L does have a 2014 to 2021 accessibility plan that is available to the public for their review. But the thing you have to keep in mind is the authoring tools and the add-ons also need to be accessible to students. And even if the learning management system is, but the others are not, then that will downgrade its rating. Well, I hope this tour of Brightspace and its accessibility has been helpful to you. Next week, we'll take a look at setting up our landing page or our home page.